Hello and a very warm welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. Today we'll further the lecture from where we last left and cover the important current affairs for the week. Initially, we'll start with the mapping. This type of question also appeared in Prelims 2023 about the connectivity projects, where you had to select which one is true. So in this news, we'll be talking about the Agartala Akhora rail link. So on November 1, Indian PM Narendra Modi and Bangladesh PM Sheikh Hasina inaugurated the rail link. So first of all, please always remember what is the mode of transport, whether it is waterway, is it an airport, is it a road, or is it rail link. So this one is a rail link between Agartala and Akhora virtually, re-establishing connections between Bangladesh and India's northeast through Tripura. So the 12.24 km rail line with 6.78 km in Bangladesh and 5.46 km in Tripura will link Agartala to Akhora, providing international transit. Just a second. So it will be more clear when we'll see it on map. Nishchintapur in West Tripura will serve as an international immigration station, reducing travel time between Agartala and Kolkata from 31 to 10 hours. So let's see this. Okay, so here's the mapping portion. You can see here the Bangladesh. So Bangladesh is sandwiched between the India's east and the northeast, like this. So if we have to come from this point to, let's say, this point, if we are going like this, then it will take us around 30 plus hours. So we can use Bangladesh instead, directly come here. So this has been done. So this is Agartala here, Tripura's capital. This is Tripura. So Agartala here, and we want to go to, let's say, Kolkata. So we have two options. Either we can come like this, or we can just come like this. But this will be an international transit when using Bangladesh. So this will take us around 10 hours to come here directly. Alright, so remember this mapping. So this rail link aligns with India's Act East policy. Alright, that means establishing relations with countries which are east to us. So first of all them is Bangladesh, then Myanmar, and then so on, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, etc. And neighborhood first policy. So Bangladesh is our neighbor also. Neighbors are Bhutan here, Nepal here, Bangladesh here, etc. Fostering economic growth, tourism and facilitating import-export activities. The project cost 862 crore on Indian side, funded by the Ministry for Development on the Northeast region, and 392 crores on the Bangladeshi side. Currently, 5 broad gauge connectivity routes operate between India and Bangladesh from West Bengal. So what is the main thing here? It's the bilateral trade. So not exclusively passenger to passenger services. Okay, it's bilateral trade that will be used to do, like this rail line will be used to do that bilateral trade. So it involves close to 100 cargo trains per month. That means on an average, at least 3.3 cargo trains are going per day. So that will facilitate the exchange of commodities like stone, food grains, china clay and more. Second thing is, people to people ties are enhanced by 3 passenger trains right now, which are the Kolkata Dhaka Maitri Express, Kolkata Khulna Bandhan Express and new Jaipalguri Dhaka Mitali Express. Cross-border rail cooperation gained significance during the COVID-19 pandemic as a preferred, cost-effective and environmentally friendly mode of transportation, because what happened, that airports were closed and airplanes were closed. So people relied more on the rail transport. If also you remember, during the COVID period, many trains were used as moving hospitals. Alright, so rails, the importance of trains increased during the COVID period. The pandemic highlighted the importance of supply chains, energizing connectivity projects between India and Bangladesh. So many vaccines were transferred via the rail lines, including railways, ports and road initiatives. Alright, let's move forward. So US Secretary of Defense Austin, that means basically the Defense Minister, Austin arrives in India for 2+2 ministerial dialogue. So he is Indian Defense Minister Rajnath Singh. Alright, let's see this. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi highlighted the India-US partnership as force for global good. Please remember all these taglines. They are very important. You can directly use them in the answers. emphasizing the cooperation's foundation in shared values of democracy, pluralism, and the rule of law. So, what is singular and plural? Plural means many. So, both India and USA have people from many religions and races, and racial coexistence as well as the religious pluralism is important for any country's progression in the modern time of democracy. So PM Modi met with US Secretary of State Antony Blinken and US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin during the 2+2 ministerial dialogue. Alright, so 2+2 basically involves the foreign minister as well as the defense minister, calling it a key enabler for strengthening the India US comprehensive global strategic partnership. So you can make a different note about this also. Moving further, the leaders reaffirmed the shared vision for close partnership in the Indo-Pacific. This is very important. The Indo-Pacific region, again and again, it keeps coming into various different exams. All right, in different manifestations, whether it is the UNCLOS, whether it's the question about which island has been, let's say, militarily occupied with which country and which is in dispute, under dispute. So these questions you please, let's say, remember or make notes about, specifically about the Indo-Pacific region. So including the crisis in Ukraine and the Middle East, we all know what's going on in the Middle East. I have made a detailed lecture about this Israel-Palestine issue and Ukraine-Russia-Ukraine issue. Bringing congratulated PM Modi on India's success G20 presidency and discussed initiative to expand the strategic partnership. So G20 can come in the exam this time. Alright, the 2+2 ministerial dialogue had annually since 2018 involves the Minister of External Affairs and Defense Ministers representing India and Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense representing the United States. So basically Foreign Minister plus Defense Minister. The discussions focus on common issues of concern, etc. You can read about this more. Okay, let's come to the next news, which is CBI, an independent agency, not a limb of the union government. So let's see this, is it true, whether this line holds any truth or not. And let's see what sort of body is CBI. So CBI is one of the most feared body, you can say, when it comes to criminal investigations. So Center asserted in the Supreme Court that the CBI, that is Central Bureau of Investigation, is an independent, first of all, and the union government has no control over its investigations. So argument was made in response to a suit filed by the state of West Bengal, claiming that the CBI was probing and registering FIR in the state without prior consent. So this consent issue has been discussed many times about the CBI. Many states can withdraw consent to CBI, and then CBI cannot on its suo motu take cognizance of any issue going on. However, if the High Court allows CBI to, let's say, do the investigation in that state, then the consent does not matter. You can read more about this in the state consent to the CBI. So Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, you can read about the post of Solicitor General also. It's basically the advocate of the union government. Mehta argued that the CBI is an independent agency under the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act. So it's not a constitutional body, it's a statutory body under this act and operates autonomously in its investigative matters. That means union government has no control over its investigations. So CBI has filed multiple FIRs related to post-poll violence in West Bengal, and the state's government questioned how the CBI could ignore the withdrawal of consent in 2018. So it's important for CBI to do such things if there are post-poll violence in the states and the state police is not functioning properly, let's say, because of political reasons, then the CBI will take some cognizance. Alright, and there is of course a political influence from CBI from the central government, depending upon the political structure of India at that time. But this all we do not have to mention or remember. What we have to mention is that CBI is an autonomous body under which act, and it has no whatsoever influence of any other bodies. So you can ignore this or keep this for the interview, but must remember this. So CBI was established in 1941 as the Special Police Establishment, that is SPE. So 1941, that means pre-independence, and later renamed the Central Bureau of Investigation in 1963. 1963, you can also remember the last lecture we were reading about the Nagaland, and the Nagaland was formed in 1963, separating from the Assam state. So these are small details you can Remember one from another. So the primary objective of the CBI is to investigate and combat corruption and other major crimes at the national level. Jurisdiction, the CBI operates under the jurisdiction of the Delhi Special Police Establishment Act, that is DPSE Act of 1946. It can investigate offences across state borders without the need for state government permission. But there is a consent issue. So if the states withdraw consent from CBI, let's say, there is a general consent from all the states. By default, all the states have consent. But if some states choose to withdraw, let's say, then CBI cannot directly go and take investigations. But if it still takes, then there can be a case against by the state against the union government, let's say. Coming to the next thing. So while the CBI is part of the administrative machinery of Government of India, it functions as an autonomous body headed by a director who is appointed by a committee comprising the PM, the Chief Justice of India, and the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha. So as we all know already, CBI is often involved in high-profile corruption cases, including those against public servants and politicians. It conducts investigations, gather evidences, file charge sheet in the courts. So apart from corruption cases, CBI investigates major crimes, economic offences, etc., not important for us. What's important, another thing is CVC. The CVC exercises superintendence over the CBI in matter related to the investigation of offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act. So that is Central Vigilance Commission. So CVC, let's say in corruption cases, is bigger than CBI. So special courts. So CBI cases are tried in special courts, not in normal courts. An agency is responsible for the prosecution of these cases. Another thing is legal framework. So the legal framework governing the CBI includes the DPSE Act, which provides the agency with its powers and functions, and the DSPE Act that is amended in 2014. So this is about the CBI. You can just make a note about CBI. There are many bodies, different bodies that you should keep making notes about and have everything in mind about them. Alright, question can come from anywhere. There's no guarantee that some topics are important, some are not important. CBI is an important topic, especially in the view of this consent issue. Alright, so must make notes about them. You can directly just copy paste these notes or add these pages into your CA notes. Okay, one more thing, let's see. New island emerges after undersea volcano erupts off Japan. So an undersea volcano erupted off Japan 3 weeks ago, providing a rare view of the birth of a tiny new island. But experts say it may not last very long. So let's see what is this thing. So the unnamed undersea volcano, located about 1 kilometer off the southern coast of Iwo Jima, which Japan calls Loto, started its latest series of eruption on October 21. So this basically volcano under the water, alright, which erupted. So within 10 days, the volcanic ash and rocks piled up on the shallow seabed. So seabed is not very deep, let's say. Here the land is here and the volcano is here. So what we are seeing here, that the rock and the lava that emerged out of this has come towards the water surface, and it became a new island about 100 meters in diameter and highest 20 meters above the sea. That means 66 feet above the sea. So according to Yuji Usui, an analyst in the Japan Meteorological Agency. Just a second. So why we are seeing this? Basically, what's important for us? This volcano thing is not important for us. What's important for us? Just a second. Let's say 100 meter by 66 feet above the sea level. So like this. So what's important for us is this activity. That why does this happen? Why did it happen? So Pacific Ring of Fire is often referred to simply as the Ring of Fire, is a horseshoe-shaped zone of high seismic and volcanic activity that encircles the Pacific Ocean. So question can come about this directly. It's a static topic, you can say. This region is characterized by frequent earthquakes and numerous active volcanoes. It is one of the most geologically active areas on Earth, and about 75% of Earth's active and dormant volcanoes are located in Ring of Fire. So let's see the mapping portion here now. So when we talk about the volcanoes and the earthquakes, recently we had a lecture where we saw the earthquake line in Afghanistan. That why earthquakes are so frequent in Afghanistan. Near the Chaman Bodlak line, we saw a fault crack between the Eurasian and the Indian plate. So here also you can see many different plates and all. So see, this is the Eurasian plate that we talked about, and then there is this Australian plate. The Eurasian plates run towards the west to many other different countries. There are Indian plates also. This is North American plate and this is South American plate. Here you can see. So between this all there is the Pacific Ocean, which still has the Pacific plate. It's a big misconception among many people that the plates are only located on the land. They are also located, of course, in the sea. Because in the sea also there is land inside. Alright, so this is the Pacific plate. So this must be, let's say, having the same relation with all these plates. That's surrounded by the Eurasian, Australian, North American, South American plates. So here these are fault lines across the Pacific Ocean. And these lines are the source of many earthquakes. So not only earthquake, there are volcanoes also. You can see here toward these lines. Because at these lines are the disruptions. Let's say this is plate number A, this is plate number B, and there is geothermal activity going on beneath these plates. So what can be a good place for the geothermal activity to come out or form a volcano? That between these plates. So where we see normally many plates are there, North American plate, South American plate, Australian plate, let's say Eurasian plate, alright, and we see the Pacific plate in between, then what will be a good position for the volcanoes to form? This will be a very good, just a second. So between the plates, it will be a very good place for volcanoes to form. So this is the reason many volcanoes are there. Okay, let's move forward. So 1 lakh galaxies in a single frame, the promise of Euclid. So Euclid is one of the telescopes. There are many telescopes we saw earlier also, James Webb telescope, Hubble telescope. We see the Lagrange points also, we had a full lecture about them. Alright, so please see all those things. So the Euclid Space Telescope funded by the European Space Agency. Please also remember the European Space Agency or ESA. You can remember by Euclid to ESA. With a €1 billion budget is exploring the dark universe. So its primary mission is to investigate dark matter and dark energy. What is this dark matter and dark energy? So please read about them. I'll address them in the next lecture. Constituting 95% of the universe. Alright, so these are very important terms, dark matter and dark energy. So the telescope has captured detailed images, including a snapshot revealing 1 lakh galaxies, showcasing its capability to construct the largest 3D map of the universe. So please remember about this telescope. It can be asked in the question Euclid by ESA. The project aims to cover galaxies up to 10 billion light years away. So the distance covered by the light in 1 year of time is 1 light year, aiding astronomers in understanding the dark energy universe. Over 6 years, Euclid will observe 8 billion galaxies, covering 36% of the night sky using infrared and visible light. The telescope will analyze the distortion of light due to gravitational interactions, revealing the spatial distribution of dark matter. So while not identifying the nature of dark matter, the mission aims to unveil its location and behavior. Euclid's observation will provide unprecedented detail and valuable insight for cosmologists. So what's to focus here is essentially the dark matter and dark energy. We'll see about them in the next lecture. The next news we come across is UNESCO declares Gwalior City of Music. So can be asked in state level exams, APPS it can be asked. So Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh and Kozhikode from Kerala were added to UNESCO. Gwalior from Madhya Pradesh actually, Kozhikode from Kerala were added to UNESCO's Creative Cities Network for their commitment to culture and creativity. So Gwalior is historically significant for its Gwalior Gharana. So what is this Gwalior Gharana? In the art and culture section, we are dealing with this GS1. So the oldest musical Gharana in Hindustani classical music dating back to 15th century. The Gwalior Gharana flourished under Raja Man Singh Tomar, who played a key role in reviving Indian classical music. The Gharana produced notable musicians like Tansen. So Tansen we all know, one of the 9 gems of Akbar. Alright, who became a court musician for Akbar, and Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan, a significant figure in the early 20th century. So the Gharana contribute to the development of Khayal singing. Please remember this Khayal singing, incorporating elements of Qabbali and introducing Persian birds in musical pieces. Some prominent names associated with Gwalior Gharana include Bade Inayat Hussain Khan, Vasudev Bubba Joshi and Balakrishna Dubba Ichala Karanjikar. The Gharanas influence extend to contemporary musician, and its techniques and nuances are still taught in the learning of Hindustani classical music. So very small news for you. Just remember Gwalior as the city of music. Alright, and you can associate Tansen and further Akbar with this. So that's all for this lecture. I'll be seeing you in the next lecture. Keep studying. Have a bright day. This is Yatharth here, signing off. See you again. Thank you very much.